Hi, I'm Erin with Breathe Grace Yoga. Today we're going to share a Vinyasa practice. Let's begin in mountain pose. Feet are hip distance apart. Engage the quads, lower the shoulders, relax the jaw. Close your eyes if it feels good. Focus on your breath and begin taking deep breaths, inhaling and exhaling completely. Take anything else that's running around in your head, set it on the side of your mat, and focus just now on this practice in this moment. Today, our focus and our intention will be action. Bring your focus to the feeling of action. An ounce of action is worth a ton of theory. Hold that feeling of action as we practice today. You can open your eyes. We're going to take one leg, cross it over the other leg, and then bring that opposite arm up and over, pulling in both directions. Bring the arm down, uncross the legs, take your opposite leg across, and your opposite arm up. Again, pulling in both directions, gaining a nice stretch through your torso. And release, clasping your hands behind your back. Opening up the shoulders. Breathing deeply while we do this. And release. Now we're going to take one foot, prop the heel in front. I'll turn a little bit so you can see me, and then lean forward to get a nice stretch on the back of the leg here. Pressing the hips back, bending that opposite leg a little bit to get a little deeper. Then we'll come up and we'll do the other side. So heel in front, bend the opposite leg and lean forward, pressing the hips back, flexing that straight leg toe. Good. Now we're going to do a little balance in the beginning, which I typically don't do, but we're doing it today. I was feeling it. All right, so we're going to center and ground the right foot, spread the toes, engage your quads, engage your core, pull your left leg up and just give your knee a hug. So this is a balance and a stretch. You can stand against a wall or hold on to a chair if you need to. And then release your hands and open up that knee and that hip if it feels good. and then bring it down. Good. Now we'll do the other side. Spread the toes on the left foot, get nice and grounded and centered, engage that quad, engage the core. Bring the right knee up, give it a hug first, clasping the hands around it. You can use a strap here around your foot and hold the leg up if that works better for you too. And then go ahead and open up that hip if it feels good. Good. Let me show you what that looks like with the strap, just in case you need it. So just take a strap or a bathrobe belt. And pull the knee up as high as you're able. And then put the strap in one hand and open it up when you're ready. Okay? So that's how you would do that with the strap. Again, you can do it against the wall for better balance. Not a problem. All right, we're going to start our sun salutations. I will do 2 modified versions on each side to teach you the modifications and to warm up the body. And then we'll move into full postures. Take whatever modifications or variations you need when we move into full postures. You can do all of them modified, or you can just choose 1 or 2 poses that you need to modify for your own self today, if that feels good. There's no right or wrong. Just make sure that you're moving, and you're moving in a way that doesn't hurt your body, okay? So let's begin. We'll start in mountain pose. Feet are hip distance apart. Inhaling the arms up. Exhaling, folding, hinging from the hips. Stepping back with the left foot onto the knee. Arms come up. Low lunge. Hands come to the mat. Right leg comes around, sinking back into child's pose. Pulling forward for a kneeling plank, lowering crocodile. Dropping the belly, lifting the chest for baby cobra, and pressing back to child's pose. Left leg comes forward for a low lunge. Hands come to the mat, feet together, reverse your swan dive, and come into chair. Same thing, sweeping up, folding, stepping back with the left onto the knee. Hands come to the mat. Right leg comes around, sinking back. Pulling forward for plank, lowering crocodile. Dropping the belly, lifting the chest for baby cobra, and pressing back to child's pose. Left leg comes forward. Hands come to the mat. Step forward, feet together, reverse your swan dive. And chair, switching sides, still modified, sweeping up, folding, stepping back with the right onto the knee. Hands come to the mat. Left leg comes around, sinking back. Pulling forward for plank, lowering crocodile, dropping the belly, lifting the chest, and pressing back. Right leg comes forward. Low lunge. Hands come to the mat. Stepping forward, feet together, reverse your swan dive. And chair. One more time, modified, sweeping up, folding, stepping back with the right. Hands come to the mat. Left leg comes around, sinking back. Pulling forward, lowering, dropping the belly, lifting the chest, and pressing back. Right leg comes forward. Hands come to the mat, feet together, reverse your swan dive. And chair, moving into full postures, sweeping up, folding forward, stepping back with the left, high lunge. Hands come to the mat, right leg steps back, we're in downward dog. Floating forward for plank, lowering crocodile. Flipping those toes for upward dog, pressing back for downward dog. Right leg comes forward. Hands come to the mat. Step the feet together, reverse your swan dive. And chair. Again, sweeping up, folding, stepping back with the left. High lunge. Hands come to the mat. Right leg steps back, downward dog. Floating forward for plank. Lowering crocodile, flipping the toes for upward dog, pressing back for downward dog. Left leg swings through, high lunge. Hands come to the mat, feet together. Reverse your swan dive and chair. Again, sweeping up, folding, stepping back with the left, high lunge. Hands come to the mat, right leg comes back, downward dog. Floating forward, plank, crocodile. Flipping the toes for upward dog, pressing back for downward dog. Left leg swings through, come up for high lunge. Hands come to the mat, feet together, reverse your swan dive, and chair. One more time, sweeping up, folding, stepping back with the left, high lunge. Hands come down, right leg steps back. Floating forward, plank, lowering crocodile. Flipping the toes for upward dog, pressing back for downward dog. Left leg swings through, high lunge. Hands come to the mat, step forward, reverse your swan dive, and chair. Switching sides now. Sweeping up, folding, stepping back with the right, high lunge. Hands come down, left leg comes back. Floating forward, plank, crocodile, upward dog, downward dog. Swinging the right leg through, high lunge. Hands come to the mat, feet together, reverse your swan dive, and chair. Sweeping up, folding, stepping back with the right. Hands come down, left leg comes back, downward dog. Floating forward, plank, crocodile. Upward dog, pressing back, downward dog. Swinging that right leg through, high lunge. Hands come to the mat, feet together, reverse the swan dive, and come into chair. Again, sweeping, folding, stepping back with the right, high lunge. Hands come to the mat, left leg comes back, downward dog, floating forward, plank, crocodile, upward dog, downward dog. Right leg swings through. High lunge. Hands come to the mat. Feet together. Reverse your swan dive. And chair one more time. Sweeping up, folding. Stepping back with the right. Hands come down. Left leg comes back. Downward dog, floating forward, plank, crocodile, upward dog, and downward dog. Right leg forward, high lunge. Hands come to the mat, step forward, reverse your swan dive, and come into chair. And relax, grab some water. Great job. We are warm now. And we'll start another flow. All right, we'll start in mountain pose. Relaxing the shoulders. Taking a nice deep breath to prepare. Sweeping the arms up. Hinging from the hips, folding forward. Planting the hands on the mat and stepping back into a downward dog. Bring your ears between your shoulders. Pedaling the heels a little bit, just hanging out here for a minute, breathing, maybe swaying the hips. And then go ahead and lift up that left leg behind you, swing it through, and drop down onto your right knee. So we're in a low lunge position. Walk that left foot out pretty far so that when you come deep into your lunge, your knee does not go past your toes. We want to get pretty deep into this lunge and feel this nice stretch on the hip flexor. Just feeling that nice stretch. Hands are still on the mat. Then we're going to flip the toes on the back leg, press up, and lift the arms. High lunge or crescent. Hold this. And now we're going to bow over that front leg. So pulling the arms in front of you, engaging your core, bringing your torso over the front of that knee, and then arms come out to the side and you lift back up. And again, bow over that front knee. Bring the arms out to the side, lift back up. And one more time, bow down. Arms out to the side, lift back up. Bring the hands to either side of your foot, step back into downward dog. And now raise up the right foot behind you. Swing it through. Drop your left knee again. Get that right foot far enough out so that when you lean into this low lunge, stretching the hip flexors, your knee is not going past your toes. And then flip the toes behind you. Press up into a high lunge. Lift the arms. And hold right here while you're breathing. And bow down. Arms come to the front, come over that front thigh. Arms come out to the side, lift back up. Again, lower. And lift. And one more time. Bring the hands to the mat, stepping back. We're in downward dog. Taking a nice breath right here. And then raising that left leg up behind you again. Swinging it through. Planting the right heel. And coming up for warrior one. Toes are at about 2 o'clock. Shoulders are relaxed. Core is engaged. Gaze is up. And we'll open up for warrior two. Pivoting that back foot just a little bit. Looking over the left fingers, left leg is still bent. If it feels good, we're going to hinge from the hips and bow forward. Continuing to breathe. Bring your hands to heart center and use your torso and your ab muscles to lift, rolling up. Open that back leg and come into goddess pose. Hands are at heart center. Breathing. And then we'll shift the left leg straight and parallel with the side of the mat. Right leg points forward and is bent, coming into warrior one. Your toes are at 2 o'clock now. Or you can be in a crescent lunge with the heel up. We're going to open up for warrior two, bringing that foot parallel to the back of your mat, looking over your right fingers. Relax the shoulders, engage the core. And then if you want to, hinge forward. Bringing the hands to heart center. And then engaging the abs, slowly roll up. Pivot that back foot. Come into goddess pose. Release the hands, bring them to the mat. Pivot the feet out so they are straight and parallel with the sides of your mat. Inhale. Exhale, lower. Maybe grab your ankles. Wide leg forward fold. And then place your hands in the center. Come down on your knees. We're going to come into child's pose. Reconnecting with your breath here. Pulling forward onto your belly. Placing your hands right next to your chest, and then lifting up a little bit for baby cobra. Maybe coming onto your forearms for sphinx if that feels good, or staying in baby cobra, or even if it feels good, coming into king cobra. And release. Press back into child's pose to counter that little back bend. We're going to roll over onto our backs. Grab your strap. Lie down on your back, and we're going to put our foot in the strap, extend the other leg out. We're going to get a nice little hamstring stretch here. If you don't have a strap, just grab behind your thigh, that's fine. And then slowly and very controlled, let your foot come out to the side. You don't want to let this drop. It's not good for your joints. Opening up the hip in a very controlled manner. Bend that knee, bring the leg back in, and we'll switch feet. Extending that leg out and bringing the other leg up with the strap. Slowly and controlled, opening the hip. Bending the leg, bringing it back in. Removing the strap and preparing for final relaxation. I'm lying in corpse pose. You can choose any Shavasana position that works for you. Maybe the soles of your feet are together and you're in butterfly. Maybe your feet are wide and your knees come together, relieving some pressure on the lower back. Maybe you're lying on your side or on your belly. Or maybe your legs are up the wall or on top of a chair or a bed. Whatever position helps you relax the most, that's where you want to be. Close your eyes or soften your gaze. Once again, bringing your focus inward to your breath, noticing how it feels as you inhale and how it feels as you exhale. Feeling good about the work we just did. And sealing this practice with some final relaxation. Bringing your focus once again to action, our intention for today. Do you know who you are? Don't ask, act. Action will delineate and define you. And when you're ready, you can wiggle your fingers and toes, bringing your awareness back to your space, opening your eyes, rolling to one side, and supporting yourself into a seated position. Inhale up and exhale. One more time, inhale up and exhale. The light in me honors and appreciates the light in you. Namaste. Thank you for joining me today. I'll see you soon.